line that's running down, you kind of lose it back here. That white line is the linea alba.
Okay.
You see it most prominently anterior, on the anterior aspect of the abdomen, ventral surface. So that white line is the linea alba. There's no muscle right there. That is the connective tissue connection between the muscle, the rectus abdominis on the right and the rectus abdominis on the left. Now as you look at that muscle, it looks lighter along the ventral midline. That's because there's a connective tissue sheath over the rectus abdominis muscle. So this white area that is on either side of the ventral midline, that's the rectus abdominis muscle. It runs longitudinally down from anterior to caudal. Lateral to that white line, the darker muscles are the oblique muscles, of which I'm only asking you the external oblique. There are actually 3 layers of musculature here.
So this side is the external oblique and this side is the external oblique?
Right, either side is going to be the external oblique.
Okay.
In fact, on the quiz or exam, practical, have the cat in some position similar to this, and if I ask you what is this muscle, okay, that's the rectus muscle, rectus abdominis. If the pin is lateral, that's the external oblique muscle. And if I carefully...
Okay, what's the difference between the external oblique and the rectus abdominis? The rectus abdominis is the white sheath?
The rectus abdominis muscle runs up along the ventral midline. It looks lighter because it's covered by a connective tissue sheath, which, if I'm really careful, I could sect it free a bit. Okay, you might have something that looks like this, where I've got this connective tissue sheath partially cut, and so that allows me to reflect back the lateral muscle to see the ventral muscle underneath. So it's the muscle that runs along the ventral midline. Longitudinal muscle on the ventral midline.
And the obliques will be just on the sides?
The obliques are lateral on either side. Linea alba is right in the middle. You see it best right here on this cat. See that white line there? That's the linea alba on this cat. That's where you want to make your incision to enter the abdomen. Feels better. Okay, now we need shoulder muscles. All right. Okay. Now. All right. Now what I've got identified here are the deep shoulder muscles. I've got reflected the spinotrapezius and the latissimus dorsi muscles. They're in this group here. I've just reflected back. I have the acromiotrapezius cut and reflected forward. Acromiotrapezius that extends across the top of the shoulder. That's been cut and reflected forward. And then that gets us to the deep muscles of the shoulder. Lateral surface of the scapula, 3 muscle bellies. The muscle that lies above the spine, central spine, is the supraspinatus, right here. The muscle that's below the spine, the infraspinatus, and then the muscle that's along the caudal edge of the scapula is the teres major. So as you look at the lateral surface of the deep muscles, on top supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres major. Okay? All right.
If we're done with everything.
Oh, sure. Take off. I'll see you next week.
What is suprascapularis? Is that the same thing as supraspinatus?
No, subscapularis.
You know what? Yeah.
That's the one I was just coming to.
That's on the inside, medial?
Medial. Submarines go under the ocean. Subscapularis is under the scapula. It's on the medial surface. It's just anywhere in here. I mean, this is all called subscapularis.
And the serratus ventralis.
Okay, 2 of the sling muscles that attach, they're called that because they attach the scapula to the body wall. The one that's dorsal, that you'll be responsible for is the rhomboideus. That's this muscle
that
group
whole
here. That whole it
looks like 3 little sections.
Yes, and they're different muscle bellies. We're taking it all as one. The tenth is going to be somewhere in one of these bellies. It's the rhomboideus. Okay. Ventrally is the serratus ventralis. Note the muscle bellies. The individual band-like muscle bellies.
Serratus ventralis.
See muscle belly here, 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 like spokes of a wheel. Serratus ventralis.
Okay.
Rhomboideus is dorsal. Serratus ventralis is ventral. Okay. Next one.
Supraspinatus inferior, you told me those.
Yeah.
Temporalis, I know.
Okay.
Long head and lateral head of tricep brachial.
Okay. Let me get a little bit more of this fascia taken off here.